Welcome back to the lovely city of Chicago and the second half of the first round of the 2017 National Hockey League Draft. We will now go through picks 16 to 30, where you're going to want to hear this. The Toronto Maple Leafs are picking, so stay tuned for that. Now on the clock. Who the fuck? Oh.
I literally had a blank out of the Leafs.
It's Calgary.
No, it's
The
Calgary.
Calgary Flames.
the Toronto Maple Leafs. Screw the Flames.
Right.
All right, Omar. All right, get going. All right. So that was a fun first half. Not so bad. All right, Omar. Lead us off here.
Okay. All right. So with the 16th overall pick, the Calgary Flames draft from the Owen Sound Attack of the OHL, Nick Suzuki.
Nice.
Wow.
So
Omar just reversed it on me.
Oh, I reversed. Yeah. How's it feel?
Yeah, he got me too. We're
So
tied.
so even though Suzuki lacks size, there's nothing you can replace with skill. He's obviously he's a dynamic offensive player. 96 points in 65 games. He's very consistent. And he's also known as being one of the best penalty killers in the OHL. So that's definitely something you want to add. If you're Calgary, at this point, you can't really go for a position. You just want to take the best player available, and at 16, it would be Nick Suzuki.
Alrighty.
All right, so the Toronto Maple
Field
Leafs are now on the clock.
You got
There
him.
we go.
You got him up there.
Are you?
We're
Are
gonna
you?
get you up to the front.
Are
Give
the
me a
Leafs ready to pick?
They are
All the way
ready.
from New Jersey.
We have to get you up on the podium. Give us one sec.
How is it that the guy from New Jersey ends up getting the Leafs pick
And the Devils.
The guy from Jersey got
and the
Jersey.
Devils pick?
And the Rangers.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got the Rangers as well. Well, you got the Leafs. Just say it, Dave.
All right. Just tell me when.
Oh well. Yeah,
all
go
right,
ahead, Jake.
Go ahead, Jake.
All right. This is actually a really tough pick for me, but with the 17th overall pick in the 2017 NHL draft, the Toronto Maple Leafs are proud to select from the Tri-City Americans of the Western Hockey League, Juuso Valimaki.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to the place I didn't want you to go.
I know, right?
Is it bad if opposing teams cheer that pick?
A 6'6" center. Oh God.
Alrighty, so Valimaki, explain yourself.
Spell truculent.
There's no way I was doing it.
Oh, you're going
Yeah,
Robo.
Valimaki, me, he monster year with the city. I think he had 60-something points. He had 61 points in 60 games. So he's a point-per-game defenseman. He's really good both ways. He can skate. He's pretty big, too. He's about 6'2", 200 pounds. They kind of compared him to a more dynamic but less calm Olli Juolevi, who obviously went 5th to Vancouver last year. I really like this kid. I mean, so you obviously notice that he's getting a lot of offense through, but he's a good two-way player too. He can skate, and obviously, yeah, it's kind of sad that he's a left-handed defenseman, but at this point, you're just trying to pick the best player. And for me, he was the best player on the board. He was my highest rated, but I had 3 other guys that I was really, really looking at, but he was for me the best defenseman available.
Who are you considering with that pick?
I also, the guy I was going to go with next was probably Nicholas Hague.
Mhm.
And then the other guy was Christian Vesalainen from Finland. For me, I thought that Hague is a great skater too. He's obviously a little bit bigger. He's massive. He's about 6'6".
Mhm.
And
Monster.
Christian Vesalainen absolutely just ripped it up at the under 18s. And guys that tend to do that are really good players. Last year it was with the Finns. Obviously it was Jesse Puljujärvi, and he looks like he's going to be a really good player. But yeah, for me it was Valimaki. He was probably one of the best players on the Finnish team at the World Juniors. They had a really underwhelming team, but I liked his game a lot.
So I think you see a lot of mock drafts right now. You'll see, obviously, a lot of defensemen are being penciled in as a Leafs pick. But I think between Valimaki and Hague, those are 2 realistic guys that'll be there. What separates one from the other? Because by the sounds of it, they're really close.
I don't know. Some people are
Yeah.
not as high on Hague just because they don't think the skating is quite there. From he's got.
I don't know. For me, I think he's an amazing skater for his size.
Yeah, for his size, he's pretty
ridiculous.
good.
Another thing too.
No,
is that,
which is another thing though. You know, if you're getting a 6'6" defenseman, he can beat you up too. Like he's a really good defensive guy, and he's going to be able to play with the big players that you're playing against. But you know, foot speed isn't an issue with him for me, at least. I mean, obviously you'd wish he's Erik Karlsson, but at least he can move around.
Yeah.
But I think Valimaki's just a little better skater than he is.
And just to keep touching on Hogg, like another thing too is that his offensive game really developed this year, and to speak on his skating ability, like he'll jump in the rush, like if he knows like it's the right time to do, kind of similar to what Morgan Riley did in his first couple seasons with the Leafs. But yeah, I think definitely going with Valimaki at that pick is the best way to go. Just because it sucks that he's not a right-handed shot, but you know I think especially when you're the Leafs, you just want to keep adding a defenseman wherever possible, and the best available defenseman. We see them doing this with Borgman and Rosen in Sweden. So yeah, I definitely agree with Jake in going with Valimaki at 17.
Yeah, I like that pick.
He had a couple of multi-goal performances too, so he can put the puck in the net. He jumps up in the rush, like you said.
There's not many Leafs defensemen right now that can put the puck in the net.
Yeah, but he also has that two-way game. There's a lot of guys that are offensive. You have Gardner, you've got Riley, you've got Carrick to a degree who can jump up.
But those guys are guys who carry the play and pass it off.
Yeah.
Like they don't really have a guy that's gonna try to do it himself.
Well, it's not that he tries to do it himself. From what I've seen, it's sort of he jumps up in the rush and he's that one-timer option. On the far side.
Exactly. That's not really something the Leafs have. Like,
That's true.
name me a defenseman that's going to take
guys.
a big one-timer. Like they don't really have that.
They don't have one.
No.
They don't have a shooter.
I think that's why
And that's
a lot
the
of people,
biggest hole in their power play. That's why they run 4 forwards.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are so high on Nielsen, is because when they watch him play in
he's a big shooter.
with the Marlies, like they see that shot, and after them, that's why a lot of people want him in the NHL that badly. But with Valimaki, you can definitely have that.
Well, I'll ask you guys this.
He was one of the only guys that even scored goals for Finland. I think they scored like 6 goals the whole tournament. He had 2 of them as a defenseman.
We'll spend a little more time on the Leafs because obviously this is a Leafs podcast. So, looking at the first 15, 16 picks ahead of the Leafs here, is there anybody you guys consider worthy of trading up to get? Realistically.
Well, Jake already had one that he ran to the podium for with Detroit's pick.
Yeah, that is the only guy I would like, because I think he's a top 5 talent in this draft. I think he's the 3rd best forward for me. I'd take him over Velarde.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes, I wouldn't trade up for a defenseman, just because I think there's guys that will drop that may not be better than some of the other guys that will go before, but it's not a huge drop off. So like if Valimaki's available, like you're pretty happy. Haig is most likely going to be available. Like he's probably a guy that could drop to the mid-20s.
Okay.
So I mean, if he's available too, I think he's another good option for the Leafs. I mean, he could even be an option to the Leafs trade down for even. Like but I don't think you'd trade up for a defenseman. I don't think. I think if you see like a guy who slipped out of the top 10 that you're like, oh my gosh, he slipped out of the top 10, that could be it. But I just don't see them reaching for like just a defenseman. It has to be like the right guy.
I know last year was in the second round. We saw the Leafs kind of go off the board a bit with Korshkov. Some would consider that off the board. Is there anybody, do you see any possibility of that in the first round?
For the Leafs or just in general?
No, for the Leafs.
I think
No.
No, I don't think so.
I think
it's
it
pretty cut and dry, right?
They pretty much, I mean, from what we've seen the past 4 drafts, they pretty much stuck to the board, at least in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only, outside of that Korshkov pick, I mean, the one that I guess kind of shocked me was Dermott, because I thought he was going to go, people thought he was going to go in the 50s, and he went in the high 30s. But they pretty much stay true to the board, which is, obviously what we can see is the Bob McKenzie's board, and he's relatively right when it comes to slotting where prospects go, and they pretty much they take best available talent from what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, we got that with Bracco when he fell, Timashov when he fell. Yeah. It's been nice. That's why the Leafs have had high grades and from pundits like us, because these are guys that they had rated high, and the Leafs got steals in them.
Yeah, I think if there is any movement, it might be a dynamic decision. So like, say for example, if if they're set on drafting Valimaki or Foot or any other defenseman and they go, and then their plan B they feel they can get in like the late 20s, I feel like maybe they might trade down for that. But besides that, there's nothing really, no other reason to.
On one last note, I think if they don't have the guy they want, they will trade that pick.
Oh, like
I
altogether?
wouldn't be shocked if they trade it before the draft. I mean, obviously there's a lot of guys that Leafs fans and the Leafs have been linked to, guys like I was talking about, Chris Tanev or Matt Dumba. Minnesota doesn't have a first round pick. Neither do the Ducks. So, maybe for a guy like Vatanen or a Dumba, where they can get back in the first round when the draft starts, and you can pluck one of those defensemen out of there. So I think the Leafs are going to make some trades during the draft for sure.
Hey, Jake.
And I think this pick is definitely in play.
Hey, Jake. Would Minnesota make the trade if it was a bad deal?
No, they would just let him go. Just let him go for free.
Jeez.
All right, so I think we're going to be moving it back into the draft.
Yeah, we'll get back in the draft here. We'll speed through the rest of the picks.
Yeah.
Just we want to spend some more time on the Leafs because, again, this is obviously a Leafs podcast, so it's important that we discuss the Leafs.
Yes.
So now on the clock, the Boston Bruins.
Boo.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Poor Austin's just like, oh, okay.
Like being booed.
Shut up. You like it.
Graceful. See that jump? Yeah, wow. Jump over the candlestick. Alrighty, so with the 18th pick, the Boston Bruins select Christian Vesalainen, center from HPK in the Finnish league.
All right.
Well, if you don't mind me to just do a quick one, he's a big body. I think he fits well with Boston, and who obviously like their power forwards. He cycles the puck well, and he can finish, so I think he'll fit in really nicely with them.
All right. It is now the San Jose Sharks with the 19th pick. Alrighty.
That's you.
Plug my phone before it.
Why is Boston getting booed in Chicago?
No,
Figure it out.
They lost them in the Cup final.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, well.
Computer just froze. Oh, we're good.
Details.
Okay. I thought my computer froze for a second. That would have been bad. Alrighty. So, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Michael Rasmussen from the Tri-City Americans.
Alrighty, there we are. Any explanation there?
They could use some help up front. It showed in that series against the Edmonton. I think they just need a little more firepower. Guys, they could be losing Marlowe and Thornton really soon, so might as well have somebody in the pipe to be able to replace them.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, Rasmussen could be good. I mean, I really don't know. It's hard to tell with big guys like that, honestly.
Alrighty.
All right, next pick is St. Louis.
Oh.
Omar.
That is me.
You
One
are up.
of two St. Louis picks in
Yes,
the
sir.
first round.
Stacked up.
All right. So St. Louis will draft from St. Cloud State, Ryan Poling. He made some pretty good strides in his first year. He's a really good skater, has size. He's compared to Jordan Stahl. Can play in all situations and has an accurate shot. So I think that could be a good addition for St. Louis there.
Great on deflections as well. Every goal I saw of him on highlights on YouTube was him tipping a puck in the net.
All right. Next up, much to Jake's dismay, the New York Rangers. Are the New York Rangers ready to select?
We got to bring him up.
Yeah, we are. We're ready to go.
One sec.
All right. We're bringing them up.
And
Dun, 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 dun,
go.
Okay, all right. This is the 22nd pick, right?
21st.
21st.
Oh, with the 21st pick in the 2017 NHL entry draft, the New York Rangers are proud to select Klim Kostin from Dynamo in the KHL.
Love it.
All right. Just a quick sum of why.
I mean, this is another guy that has dropped a lot. He was projected to go top 5 at the beginning of the year because, he's massive. I think he's like 6'3", like 200 pounds, and he's a big talent. A guy he kind of reminds me of is the guy that they have right now in Pavel Buchnevich, and also the guy that Dallas drafted a couple years ago. His name eludes me though.
Nichushkin.
Yeah, Nichushkin. I mean, he's a really good skater, and he's huge, and he uses his body to his advantage. Obviously, I think he had some injuries, and he was kind of playing up and down between the KHL and the junior league, but he obviously has the talent. I mean, what I remember, the thing that really came out to me was when he was a part of the Russia team that played in the Subway Series or whatever they call it, when they played against the QMJHL, WHL, and OHL, and he was really, really good in that. And he had a big goal against the Quebec Major Junior League team, and he looked like very good. And obviously, the Rangers, as I said, they always are going for the big fish, the potential guys, and he looks like he has the potential to be a top 5 talent in this draft.
All right, up next, 22nd overall, the Edmonton Oilers.
Alrighty.
Bye, Jake.
Alrighty. With the 22nd overall pick, the Edmonton Oilers select Kaylor Yamamoto from Spokane of the WHL.
Wow. Okay. They
Yep.
go with the Alex DeBrincat of the 2017 draft.
Yes, sir. Pint size, but he fills the net. I did talk with our resident Oilers fan here at Centennial, our buddy Eric. He said Oilers fans are really high on this guy. They had another guy as a backup that they're kind of looking into, but Yamamoto was there, so I think he fits the Oilers nicely. He puts up points, and he'll fit somewhere in that roster at some point.
Okay. I have been fortunate to get the Arizona Coyotes for 2 straight times in this first round. Gotta love that Arizona.
Oh, you're.
Okay.
I mean, you're ballpark the same age as John Jacobs, so just go with 10 years younger.
Alrighty. So with the 23rd overall pick, the Arizona Coyotes will select Nicholas Hague from Mississauga.
Nice. All right.
Just they
You always walk away from the podium.
Walk away. All right, just
Wait.
a guy that they've got some pretty good prospects up front. He's a guy that can come in hopefully one day and give Ekman Larson some help on the back end. They don't really have. They need a lot of things, the Coyotes, but I think if you add a guy like Hague, he can be a safe pick. Good, we talked about it before. He's a good skater. He's got a good shot from the point. I think he'll just provide some good depth for that organization moving forward.
Cool. Next up, we have Columbus, 24. Omar.
When was the last time Columbus picked out so late in the draft?
Oh boy. Was it when they took? When did Milano get taken? A couple of years ago.
Sonny Milano was taken 16th overall.
16th. All right.
You have it right in front of your face.
I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at my own board
Oh, okay.
because I don't know who the hell I'm taking with these next 2 picks.
Interesting you should say
He's
that.
confident, though, ladies and gentlemen. He's confident.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot, but I'm excited.
All right. Omar, how much time do you need for this one?
Give me 15 seconds.
Batman's going to come after you if you're not up there in 15
Get the-
seconds.
Get the time.
Jake, where's your big clock you were telling us about?
You didn't tell me to bring it.
Okay.
Massive.
All right, he's coming up, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming up.
All right, let's do this.
All right, I'll try to do my best Mark Hunter impression for this one. So from the London Knights, with the 24th overall pick, the Columbus Blue Jackets draft Josh Norris. I mean, not Josh Norris. Sorry. Whoa, that's awkward. Robert Thomas.
Whoa, guy.
Robert Thomas. That's awkward.
Whoa, guy.
So, point per game player. He does 5'11", 185. Sees the ice and his teammates well. So I think that'd be a good addition for Columbus.
Oh,
Not
man.
too much to add, but
Jake was not happy with that one for many reasons. All right, just walk off the stage. All righty, with the 25th overall pick, the Montréal Canadiens.
Boo.
Boo. I don't know how to boo in French, so.
Boo.
who's Montreal?
Boo, Montreal, boo.
It's me. It's
Oh.
me.
Okay.
I'm gonna need 10 seconds. If I'm
All
just
right,
looking.
we gotta
at
take.
shit.
you
I
to
gotta
the podium
readjust
anyway.
my board now.
Oh, no.
Should we start booing now?
10. 9.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Don't do
We are
that.
counting.
Oh, wait a minute. Readjust the board. Why?
Yeah.
You took the guy he wanted. You didn't see him?
Oh, that's
yeah,
what it
he
was?
was super rattled. All the rattled.
Oh, sick. I feel like you should be doing the victory screech from SpongeBob.
Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Okay, with the 25th pick, the 2017 NHL entry draft, the Montreal Canadiens are proud to select from the Waterloo Blackhawks in the U.S. Hockey League, Shane Bowers.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, I really wanted Robert Thomas. I compared him to a guy like Bo Horvat, who kind of, came from like no points and just came out of nowhere, and he put up like a point per game pace. But Shane Bowers, I really like him here. He's kind of like a prototypical second, third line center. He's pretty good two ways. He can skate. He's pretty big too, and he's going to add some skill to them. He's committed to go to Boston University next year, so he's going to be on a really good team with some really good players, and he's going to be able to add to his frame because he's only 170. So, and that's about it.
Alrighty. So with the next pick, it is the hometown Chicago Blackhawks.
Yay! I'm gonna need 2 seconds because I'm trying to decide between a couple people.
I'm just gonna keep doing this until you make the pick.
Yeah,
Start
bide
singing.
time for me.
Humming Chelsea Dagger.
We're gonna make this pick as we're going up to the podium.
Okay. And
Yeah,
it's
okay, sure.
Dan Bowman coming up.
All right. So with the 26th pick, the Chicago Blackhawks select Josh Norris, center from the U.S. National Development Team. Did get to see a little bit of this guy just from clips on YouTube, and he looks solid. He can put pucks in from in front of the net, and he's got good size. Right now he's 6'1", 192, and he'll fill out a little bit, so he'll be a good little player, I would think, in the next level.
All right. And next, for the second time in this Part 2 mock draft, the St. Louis Blues.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. With the 27th pick in the draft, St. Louis Blues will select from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, Connor Timmins.
Wow.
We took a four. Oh well, Omar didn't, and I didn't really get a chance to talk about who was got picked. Sorry, get picked with the first pick. So, I envision them taking one defender at least in the first round. I think he was kind of one of the better ones left available. He's good. He's a bit smaller. I don't know, 6'1", not as small as some people may say. Good two-way game. I think he'll eventually come in and be able to replace some of those aging blue liners that they got in St. Louis.
Nice. Alrighty. You are up, Omar. Ottawa's on the clock with the 28th pick.
I'll need a second.
All right. Sounds good. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some prospects that might slip into this first round.
Who's slipping out of the first round?
I actually could see Connor Timmins being someone.
Hey, you're supposed to be looking at getting your pick ready.
Aren't you supposed to be picking?
The guy for me that I think is going to have complete the fall is Maxime Comtois. I mean, he was terrible this year. He was supposed to be like they compared him to a guy like Jonathan Drouin. I don't know how good Victoriaville was, but I believe he went down in points and he played about the same amount of games. He was projected to be top 5, top 10 pick at the beginning of the year, and I don't think he even makes it. I don't think he goes in the first round.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Matthew Strome. He's somebody that started out as a lottery pick, and now there's a chance he drops out. Skating's a little underwhelming, but I mean, he's the youngest Strome brother. The other two went so high. I mean, you kind of expect him to go in the first, but Hamilton didn't play to their ability this year, I don't think.
It looks like Ottawa is ready to pick.
Alrighty. Better batter.
Okay. So, all right. So, the Ottawa Senators will draft from Guelph Storm, Isaac Ratcliffe. He's a big 6'5" power forward.
Jake. Oh, poor
6'5" power
Omar does a double take on Jake right
That's
there.
a big
Double
6'5" power
steal.
forward. 54 points in 67 games. He's a tough forechecker, and he's really good on the cycle. And I feel that with the system that Ottawa plays, where it's kind of boring, but once they get into the zone, they like to cycle the puck and work the boards a little bit. And I feel that with his offensive touch, he may be able to help them there. So Isaac Ratcliffe. Sorry,
Alrighty.
Jake.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
And picking for the second time in the first round, the Dallas Stars got the pick from Anaheim for Patrick Eaves. Must be loving that trade. I think Jake needs a little extra
Sir
time now.
Bettman?
No, I got it.
Oh,
1 sec.
he's not going to be phased, huh?
All right. With the 29th overall pick in the 2017 NHL draft, the Dallas Stars are taking Cole Lind from Kelowna in the Western Hockey League.
Alrighty. What do you like about him?
And for me, it was pretty obvious. I mean, he kind of plays that power game. He's about 6'2", like 180 pounds. He's got good speed, and he's got the ability to, create offense for himself. He put up really good points for Kelowna, who had a really good team this year. He had 30 goals and 57 assists for 87 points in 70 games. And, Kelowna's just got a history of pumping out really good players, so wouldn't shock me if he went in the first round here too. So
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm going to need a second here because
Yeah, I'm happy I had a backup there because Cole was going off the board with the next pick.
Yeah, for me it was between for my pick for Ottawa, it was between Cole and Ratcliffe. But
Yeah.
I think just just like obviously like the size and and the strength, I feel would be a great asset to Ottawa, even though Cole does have the offensive ability. So
this is the Stanley Cup Champions pick, so I got to make sure I really do.
Yeah.
Really don't screw this one up.
Well, I mean, they won a cup. They don't need a good prospect. Just take whoever
Wait,
has
what?
the best name.
Alrighty. Oh, okay. I thought you were Nashville.
No.
No, he's Pittsburgh. I'm Nashville.
Oh, you're up. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
now I'm up. Yeah, Nashville's picking, by the way.
I know. Oh, I know.
I'm just letting you know.
I know. I'm just really wondering who I'm going to pick here.
Are we gonna
Alrighty.
You're
congratulate
probably going to take
Nashville?
him.
Well, hopefully I don't hurt you here, David. But with the 30th pick, Nashville takes Jason Robertson from Kingston. 6'2" guy. He's sort of a lankier player. I think he's more of a 6'3", I guess you'd say. He plays a little bigger than he looks, and he had a great season with Kingston. Nashville could use another forward, I think. They were just missing a bigger body. They have a lot of small forwards, so he could really help them with the cycle game, and hopefully the scoring comes around at the next level for them.
Pittsburgh's pick is almost done.
All right, cool.
I don't think he's been picked yet. This would
I think I know who you're thinking of too.
I don't think you do. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I gotta go to the full 7 round to see who's supposed to go out of the mock.
Yeah.
I'm running out of names.
Okay, jokes.
Mm.
All right. I'd like to thank the city of Chicago for their hospitality and for everybody who has been congratulating us for our second straight Stanley Cup champion.
Oh.
Look to be going for the three-peat next season.
I hate you.
With the last pick of the first round, the Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, Pierre-Olivier Joseph.
Nice.
Just a skinny. Our defense got beat up the crap in this postseason. We need some defensive prospects. We're picking Joseph.
Nice. Alrighty. I like it.
Mr.
I-
Bevin, we now
I
turn
thought you were
to
gonna go with Euro Vakanainen
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's a couple guys that could sneak into this first round.
Who did
because
Jake
they love
say?
those Finnish
Vakanainen.
players. That's why.
He was my second option.
Pierre Olivier, that's the guy from the queue that they have going to the Leafs. Craig Buttonhead, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
He says he need some time and stuff.
All
but,
158 pounds of them.
Yeah, but back to the Vakanen. Yeah, I think he's definitely a cool guy. He's if you read all the reports, a lot of people say he's the person that you'd want, like, you know, on the penalty kill or protecting a lead. You know, he's really defensively responsible. So
Nah, we got Ian Cole for that, so we're good.
Ian Cole.
Hey,
Lord.
Pittsburgh won the cup with Ian Cole as one of their better defenders. Ron Hainsey. So went with Le Francais. with that
Cool.
pick.
Alrighty. Kamish?
Kamish.
And that will conclude the thank you. And that will conclude the 2017 National Hockey League Draft. I'd like to thank the city of Chicago for their wonderful hospitality. We will see you next year.